on this first half, going right to left as we see it.
Hey, before they tip it off, I got a great trivia for you.
Okay, what's that,
All right. Number 1 ranked team in the country in women, Stanford. You know where Tara, the coach, is from? Albany.
From Albany. Interesting.
Tara Vandermeer.
She was has been a great coach, to say the least, for the Cardinals.
I got to find something to shake you up every night before we start the games.
That sounds good. Albany wins the opening tap. Bucknell will be in the man-to-man. Here's Hank with it, right elbow. He'll give it back out to the top to Rizzuto for an open three, and it's off the back of the rim. No good. Hank comes from behind and taps the ball out of bounds against Malachi Rhodes, the youngster from Marietta, Georgia, making his second career start here, Coach.
And right away you can see that their big kid, his role is as a screener and a passer to get those guard shots right off the bat.
So Bucknell's first possession against a man-to-man for Albany. Moore has it right of the key. He's going to back down Hank. He'll go with a dribble drive against him, go with a pump fake, lay it up off the glass, and it rolls out. Boy, Bruce has been bothered with some bunnies coming out on him this year. With the ball is Ahmad Clark, the second leading scorer for Coach Brown's Albany squad. Swinging over on the right side to Hutchison. Now the leading scorer, Healy, with it. Back up top to Clark. Hander's going to be an illegal screen on Albany, and that's going to be on the guy you wondered before what he does. Well, Brent Hank sets screens for those guards.
Yeah, all over the place. Ami's starting off on Healy, so that's a challenge that coach has made for Avi Toomer because he's their leading scorer.
He sure is, and he's a great three-point shooter as well. Has hit a 3 in 41 straight games. And here comes a steal by Clark. He's going one-on-one against Sotos for a contested layup, but Sotos will bang him to the court and pick up foul number 1 for the Bison and for Jimmy Sotos, and that's going to send Clark to the line. As a team, this Albany squad shoots 73% from the charity stripe. Clark does a little bit better, Coach, 30 of 38, 79%.
Clark comes from an outstanding high school program from DeMath. Anytime you get a kid from DeMath, he's going to be well coached and well schooled. It was kind of interesting to see of all the schools and where to go from. Obviously, Albany did a great job of getting them up into Albany, New York from DeMath because there's a lot of people in between. You
mentioned Al Leslie in attendance today, Hall of Famer for Bucknell, and he was at the McDonough School where Bruce Moore went, and that's in the Baltimore area, not too far from DeMath in the D.C. area. Both free throws made by Clark, so Albany jumps on top of the Bison here. About a minute gone in this first half, 2-0. Toomer will give it up top to Rhodes, swinging around left wing to Sotos off a Rhodes screen. Sotos will penetrate the paint, throw one up, and it's off the side of the rim, no good. Moore battling in there. Will get the rebound out to Rhodes. Give it over to Sotos right side, up top to Funk. Out for an open three by Toomer. Bingo! Avi Toomer hits the left wing three, and Bucknell jumps on top for the first time tonight, 3-2. That was good hustle by Moore to keep that ball alive.
Great team play. Kick it out, kick it out, kick it out.
Now Healy off a screen by Hank, stops right elbow, pitches it underneath for a Hank layup. Good pick and roll that time.
And I was curious to see how Healy plays giving the ball up, and he just made a great look to his big kid. So if he's that unselfish, then he's hard to handle.
There's Moore. He looks very aggressive early on with a turning left-hand layup, and it'll roll around the rim and out. 2 tough misses for him. Now here's Healy back the other way. Give it to Clark for Albany. He'll drive on Funk. Stop. Bounce it underneath to Hank. Ball knocked loose. It's on the deck. Picked up over here by Hutchison. Up top to Healy in motion. He'll nearly travel. Give it out to Hank. Up top here's an open three by Clark, and it is good. Coming in shooting 31% as a team. Clark only 27%. 11 of 40, but he makes his 12th for his 5th point. And just like that, Albany on top by 4. Now here's Rhodes giving in the front court on the right wing to Sotos. He'll give it back to Rhodes right baseline. Draws a double. Kicks it out to Toomer left of the key. Over in the deep left corner it goes to Funk. He'll put the dribble down. There'll be a whistle away from the action, and Hank may have just gotten called for his second foul. That could be big, Coach.
Oh, huge.
And right now, taking a warm-up shirt off is going to be Kendall Lauderdale, a 6'8 senior from Fullerton, California. But Lauderdale and Romani Henson were the only 2 guys who played against Yale on Wednesday for Albany off the bench.
Yeah. They're frontline guys. I think are very similar. We were talking earlier. They're role players. They're screeners. They're going to defend. They really did a nice job defensively of closing the basket. So we'll see what happens with this.
So Lauderdale on. Bucknell with 20 seconds on the shot clock, down 7-3. Sotos drives down the left side, cut off. Give it back up top to Toomer. Toomer bumps into his defender. Clark tries to steal it from the backside. Instead, he'll go to Moore left side. He'll penetrate left baseline against the new guy, Lauderdale. He'll go up for a fading 10-footer and hit the side of the backboard as the shot clock wound down. And now the official is going to stop play.
What is?
I think they just wanted. they didn't reset the shot clock after the miss, and I think the official.
That's
it really does hurt Albany because they
that's-
had already in motion.
Well, I just say that whoever I am, if I'm a coach, I can't say you're running down the floor. There's no reason for them to blow that whistle.
So Albany will get in the front court, leading at 7-3 with about 17 minutes remaining. Coach Brown puts his two fists and widens it out. See if they go with low post screens. Up top, Lauderdale open for a 17-footer. He'll miss it. Rebound, Jimmy Sotos. Boy, he does a great job from a guard position.
Rebounder.
Averages 4 a game. He'll come off a screen by Moore at the top of the key. Come off a screen again by Bruce to the left side. He'll pick up the ball and fling it over to Toomer right wing. Toomer looks inside, but Moore double team. Up top to Funk. Hand it off to Toomer with 14 to shoot for Bucknell. Down 7-3 early on. Now here is Funk in motion 3 right side. Is rimming in and out.
That was down.
Yeah, a couple of tough luck shots for Moore and now one for Funk. And here comes Albany with the ball on a 4-point edge. Healy will give it over the left side. With the ball is Rizzuto off a screen by Lauderdale. He'll attack the basket. It'll go out, though, for a long jumper. Up and good, and it's a 3 that time. It'll be hit in there by Hutchison.
They really attack you in the foul line.
And here's Sotos losing the handle. Here's a 3-on-1 and a shot up, no good, but a foul on Bucknell. As probably be on Rhodes, could be on Moore. We'll wait and see who they whistle. Both of them were in the vicinity. They'll actually say it was on Rhodes. That'll be his first team foul number 2. So Albany, after hitting 2 threes here in the early going, will go to the line after a media timeout, leaving this 10-3 over Bucknell. This is Bucknell basketball, presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. At Bucknell, there is only one way to gear up for college. Shop at Office Depot, Office Max, the official office product supplier for Bucknell Athletics. Our officials for today's game, Greg Evans, Guy Pagano, and Adam Flore. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery at Soika Pavilion with 15:57 remaining. In the first half, it's the Great Danes 10, the Bison 3. Coach, Great Danes shooting 3 of 5 early on. Meanwhile, Bucknell just 1 of 6. And I can count on my one hand probably 3 shots that could have easily gone in.
Yeah, in and out. One of the things that happens in a game like this is Bucknell's been playing a lot of teams with size. So that's who we've played. And whether it was Penn State, Ryder, tonight's a little different, going to be a different challenge. And they're trying to get used to, and coaches getting used to, who are they going to guard with who? Because at times they put 4 scorers on the floor that can shoot and all. They have a good IQ. These kids play with a good IQ. They're patient, and you're going to have to play them for the full possession because they can shoot the basketball. So you just got to settle into that and start to go back to what we do inside, kick it out, and those shots will go down.
Rizzuto, an 80% free throw shooter, 4 of 5 coming in, now 5 of 6. He'll give the Great Danes an early 8-point lead. A moment ago on the Patriot League Network, you saw the Mid-Atlantic Water Polo Conference champs and an NCAA tournament winning team against Harvard, the Bucknell men's water polo team. Freshman Xander Rice, freshman Alex Timmerman on the floor. As Toomer will drive right baseline, knock over his man, draw contact, throw it off the glass, good, and he was fouled. Oh my almighty. Avi Toomer, coach. Most coaches here at Bucknell say that he is the strongest Bison out there. He bench presses nearly 300 pounds for a body that is all muscle at 6'3", 190 pounds.
Absolutely a strong kid. In that case, he squared his shoulders and got it off the glass, and he got a 3.
And he did pick up the foul on Rizzuto. That'll be his first, and the team's 3rd already. That was a big three-point play. Bucknell trails it now by 6, 12-6. Lauderdale stays out there, sets a screen for Clark. Xander Rice, the freshman, on him. Now here's Healy, goes inside, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul. As Avi Toomer tried to steal the ball at the foul line, will get whistled for his first, team's third. That's been a problem for Bucknell this year, is getting in foul trouble.
Well, we can't let this become personal on me with their kid Healy. Healy's the one scorer where we got some more, so I don't want to see him pick up another one, but he's here he's trying to lock him up.
And here's Toomer stealing the ball on the baseline against Healy, and he'll complete it by getting it over to Funk. So it was kind of personal that time.
Well, I got him from behind, but great help.
Yeah, it was by Timmerman. Now here comes Funk, splitting defenders, draws a triple. Somebody's open. And it's not a Bison player. Is Funk going to get called for an offensive foul running over Lauderdale on the baseline? Andrew will get team foul number 4, his first. So 4 fouls, all on 4 different players, as the Great Danes will get it back up by 6, 12-6. 15 minutes and change remain in the first half here at Soika. Clark will hand it off now to Rizzuto. Rizzuto will dive down low on the baseline, giving it up top to Healy. He's defended, so swinging her back to the right side. There's going to be an offensive foul on Albany that time as Trey Hutchison tried to just put his shoulder down and run over, I think it was Xander Rice, but he'll get called for team foul number 4.
Good position by Bruce Moore, helping out. What's going to happen a little bit now, their forwards aren't shooters, so our bigs ought to be able to get into that lane and be able to help some of that penetration. It looks like they're starting to settle in a little bit to know about their quickness and how far they're spreading the floor.
All arms and legs. Romani Hansen, a 6'8 senior from the U.S. Virgin Islands, is checking in for Albany now. So a bigger lineup as Toomer will give it for an open 3 by Rice, right side. Too hard. Rebound fought for, and Moore is going to be called for kind of a chintzy foul. It
should be a play on.
Yeah, he probably grabbed him early, and then he pulled his arms back, Bruce did, but they'll get him for his first foul, team foul number 5. And now Bucknell will go with a little bit smaller lineup. Well, Khalil Spear will check in along with Walter Ellis.
I saw more contact from Georgia defensive backs on LSU wide receivers than that. You're right. Chintzy, is that the word you used?
I think that's
that was a cheap one.
Albany with it, leading it by 6. Hand off to Clark up top. Now he's just going to go down low and kick it out for a Healy open 3, and that is off the rim, no good. The last second, Walter Ellis closed out on him. Don't know if it affected him, may have, but the rebound comes to Bucknell, down by a half dozen. Xander Rice will give it over to Spear right side. He started a couple of games ago against Princeton. Up top it goes to Ellis, deep left corner for an open 3 by Funk, and rims in, comes out.
Great ball movement though, Doug. Yeah, you can live with that. That's great ball movement. The Bison really, really giving it up for each other.
There's Hansen for Albany. Give it to Clark. Good change of direction. He'll stop. Oh, on a dime. Goes to the glass for a layup. What a move by Clark that time. He has 7 of Albany's 14. Bison trail it by 8. 14 minutes remain in the first half. Hand off. Timmerman to Rice. Freshman to freshman. Now Rice will give it to the sophomore, Walter Ellis. It was a 3-point barrage machine the first few games of the year for Bucknell. Here's Spear dribbling off the leg of an Albany player with 12 to shoot, as Jimmy Sotos will check back in for Bucknell. Coming in for Funk, and also Rizzuto. Yeah, Rizzuto takes a seat for Albany. And yeah, a guy, Malachi D'Souza, who did not play against Yale, will check in. He recorded a double-double against Canisius. Albany killed Canisius. Bucknell lost at Canisius. Bucknell know that the shot clock is down. Only has 6. Here's Rice getting the ball at the top of the key. Great pass over to Spear. He's open for a 3. Off the rim, no good as the shot clock rang out. Here comes Albany, and they weren't ready for it. Almost went off the back of Clark, but he'll get it and drive on Rice. Push off for a step back long 3, and he got it. Wow, Clark has been dead on. He has 10.
Boy, he's playing like an All-American.
Well, he sure is, and the Bison fall down by double digits.
Going to have to put some manners on him. He got some shake going right now.
Sotos looks inside to Spear. Now Jimmy will drive right elbow, give it up top to Timmerman, fling it around to Rice. Left wing it goes to Ellis. Bucknell struggling offensively right now, trailing at 17-6. And here comes Sotos down low, good pass. Rice is open for a corner 3, rims in, comes out. Spear can't get the rebound. Here comes a 3-on-2, and Clark will give it for a wide open Lauderdale dunk, and Bucknell may need a timeout. Coach Davis will take it. So that'll be the use it or lose it timeout. And Bucknell, unfortunately, has had a lot of shots just rim out. If those shots go in, we may be tied, or, Bucknell could be down by 3 or so.
Well, the encouraging thing is the looks we're getting. Are the right guys taking the shots and, in the right positions, or is it Albany getting out on our shooters who are? But Funk's had some looks, I mean, right here in this last stretch, I think, they certainly believe Rice is going to be a kid that can score. Spears, that was the clock down a little bit. But, you got a line up here on the court that I see now Ellis is in. So the shots are going to be there by ball movement. They just haven't gone down. And, again, this Clark has been part of every possession they've scored. He's been part of the play, either dishing or scoring.
He is 3 of 3 from the floor, Coach. 2 of 2 from 3 and 2 of 2 at the foul line for his 10 points. And the Great Danes lead it by 13, 19-6. Rice stays out there. He has the ball at the head of the key. He'll give it to Spear left of the key. He'll pitch it behind him to Ellis. Quickly over to Soto's right side. Hand it off to Rice with 13 to shoot for Bucknell. Here comes Rice. And he'll get called for a travel. He was going to pass the ball over, I think, to Spear. And then at the last second, Spear was defended, so he tried to go to Ellis, but by that time he took steps.
We're digging ourselves a little bit of a hole here, not getting these possessions.
So Albany comes back with it into the front court. There's Clark, who has 10 of 19 points. Give it over on the left side to D'Souza. Up top, here is Rizzuto. Now just burying himself underneath, nearly traveling. Is Albany player is Lauderdale with an off-balance layup up and good. Kind of thought Hansen may have shuffled his feet in the lane, but he got it to Lauderdale, and he'll get his 4th point. And it's 21-6 Albany. There's Timmerman on the left wing. Bucknell playing without 2 of its post players. And Paul Newman and also John Meeks. Over the right side, here's Sotos with 15 to shoot.
Good things, high ball screens. We got to throw it in there.
And they call traveling again on Bucknell, on Walter Ellis. And now we have a media timeout. 11:38 remain in the first half. It's the Great Danes 21, the Bison 6. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. Creighton Freight Plus, located on Route 15 in Lewisburg, is your source for notary, instant registrations, title transfers, FedEx and UPS shipping, copies, faxing, scanning, and so much more. Locally owned and operated for over 25 years, that is Creighton Freight Plus. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery at Soika Pavilion, 11:38 remaining in the half. At the last dead ball, Coach Flannery, Bucknell trailed 10-3. Now, the Albany Great Danes on another run, 21-6 Albany. A lot of it is Clark, but now they've allowed Lauderdale to get a couple of buckets here, which will open up the outside. When Coach Davis went to his bench, things just seemed to kind of go south real quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. The combinations that we had, we weren't making a jumper and giving up some baskets down here. And I know he's trying to get them experience because we need them. But you had a couple lineups in here that were able to give up buckets. Right now, let's see what this group does that they started. They coming in. Let's see what we do to the 8-minute mark because we got to get this thing respectable.
So the starters are back on for Coach Davis's squad as Healy for Albany will give it to Lauderdale, who had to come in because Hank picked up his second foul. Hand it over to Rizzuto. He'll work off a screen, give it back to the screener Lauderdale, bobble the ball. Give it back to Rizzuto, give it back to Lauderdale left baseline. He'll kick it back up top, back underneath the Lauderdale. Ball knocked loose by Bucknell's Rhodes. The freshman will get it to the junior Sotos. So that'll be a turnover for the Great Danes, number 4 this half.
Need a good possession here, side to side. They're going to get shots.
There was an open shot by Funk right side.
There you go.
Bingo! You're right, Coach.
Yep. They're getting their shots. It's who's taking them and where. These guys help so much that the throwback on the backside's wide open. And that's two good possessions, offense and defense, coming out of that timeout.
Hanson with it up top to Lauderdale. He'll hand it off. Here's Healy, who's kind of playing the point now with Clark off. Now he'll give it to D'Souza, work on a weave. Give it down low. Here comes a stop, backdoor pass, and there'll be a ball stepping out of bounds with it. Hanson kind of getting caught there that time was Antonio Rizzuto, and he had to just kind of try and bail himself out by bouncing it on a bounce pass on the baseline there to Hanson. He was standing out of bounds.
Well, anybody likes the game. That was just a tremendous defensive possession. What Toomer did off of both the Healy kid and then switching on to him, they bodied up. Jimmy Soto kept the kid out of the lane that was driving on him, and that's something we've been giving up.
Now, you notice Coach Brown didn't wait. He put Clark back in. He does not want Bucknell to go on a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, and Clark has been the difference.
He has, and here's a foul drawn by Toomer. He's just so strong. When he decides to, what they call rip the ball, coach, bring that ball around, Hutchinson can't guard him, and he'll pick up his second.
Well, Hutchinson's much like some of our guys. Hutchinson's a freshman from Iowa. It's a different kind of game. Toomer's a senior, and he just bowled them.
So that brings quickly back off the bench Rizzuto, the sophomore from nearby York, Pennsylvania, a couple hours away to the south of Lewisburg. Bucknell with it, trailing 21-9 with 10.5 minutes left in the first half to Albany. Sotos gives it up top. Rhodes straight ahead, three on the way. Missed it badly off to the left.
I'm not sure that's what they wanted.
So Clark comes away with it. He has 10 of Albany's 21. Now on the left side with it, Rizzuto up top to Clark, and there's going to be an offensive foul on Albany. Who would that be called on? Away from the ball. It's
32.
For Manny Hanson. He'll get his first team foul number 7, player control foul. So just another turnover. But that's going to be number 7 for Albany team, which only averages 12 turnovers a game. Now, how will Bucknell's bench, when a coach has to put him in, how will Bucknell's bench respond when they come back on the floor? Maybe a key.
Well, coach will decide. It just won't be a bunch of them at the same time. And I know they like to have 2 units, but they're going to have to play with.
There's Mork on the right baseline. Give it to Funk. Shot clock at 10. Toomer has it now right wing. He'll come off a screen by Rhodes. Give it over to Funk. Good ball movement. Out for an open 3 by Soto's. Got fouled. And it's going to be Clark who whacked him across the head. Be 3 free throws for Soto's, as that shot may have been short even if Clark wouldn't have fouled him, but that'll be his first team foul number 7 now on the Great Danes, and 3 big free throws for Soto's, who entering today's game, coach, was 18 of 19 from the free throw line.
What's tough for right now, you asked the question about the substitution. What's tough right now is you have 2 guys that have been in your rotation. So what coach trying to do is he'll play some of those young kids, but put them in with Toomer and with Jimmy Soto. Put somebody in with more and not have the 3 kids the same that are trying to feel their way, and that's what he'll do from here on out. And it won't be a whole group of them, because sometimes it's a unit they can play together. But with all these with 2 of these guys out, that rotation is not quite there.
Sotos makes all 3 free throws, so Bucknell climbs within 9 now, 21-12, under 10 minutes left in the half. Clark on the right side, switched on by Toomer. We'll give it to Healy. He'll ball fake from the right elbow, give it back over to Clark. He has a lot of moves. He will stop, skip a pass over to Rizzuto, fading 3 in the corner, and that's too hard. Not a great look for Rizzuto. Long outlet, and it's stolen by Hanson for Albany. Here comes Albany's Clark. He'll dish it underneath, but he wasn't looking, so Rhodes will steal it for Bucknell. Nice save back to Bucknell's Sotos. Bison down 21-12. Sotos for Bucknell, working on the long arm of Hanson. He'll beat him on the drive. Great kick out to Funk. He'll fake the 3, kick it back for a 3 by Sotos. Rims in, comes out. That's about the 4th 3, and Bucknell has missed around the rim.
They're doing a good job on Healy, though, Doug, down here. They got to feel confident that they're playing them now, getting a feel for Clark, getting a feel for Healy. It's a guard-dominated team.
Now Lauderdale, a big guy for Albany, will hand it off to one of those guards. Rizzuto back out to Hanson. He'll put the dribble down on Moore. Get bumped by Moore. Got fouled. No foul. He'll lose it out of bounds. And I know you have to be stronger. I know in this game it's a physical game, but that could have easily been a foul on Moore.
Well, you know it was a foul if you were calling it. Like there's no doubt. I mean, he bodied up to him. That's good. It's nice sometimes to get them. You're at home. That's good to get. I'm so glad I didn't want to see Bruce get his second foul.
But don't you think basketball has changed since you played? That would have been a foul for sure when you played.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much it's changed, other than the 3-point and the shot clock has really changed a lot of it.
Nice try by Funk, but he'll get the rim rattler out on a layup. And now here's Albany on top by 9. There's Healy against the freshman Rice. Come off a screen. He'll give it back to the screener. Wide open is Lauderdale for a layup. Everybody went flying by him, and Lauderdale only averages 6 a game, has 6. That's a big bucket. gives Albany an 11-point lead with 8 minutes and change left. Now here's Toomer left side, bouncing underneath the Memorial. Spin nicely on Lauderdale. Forced contact. Throw it off the glass. Good. And he was fouled. And Lauderdale gets his first. Team foul number 8 on Albany. And Bruce Moore will go the line here. The Bison down by 9. Moore seems to be very aggressive early on, Coach.
Well, don't you think he's done that a few games where he's been the guy? He did it at Penn State for a while,
Syracuse.
too. Gotten a little bit of foul trouble, though, and it kind of took away that aggressiveness when you get some of those fouls. And I think some of those fouls, quite honestly, and I know coaches, they've worked hard on it, they've been dumb fouls. You know, they're ones that Bruce doesn't have to make. And he's got to realize how important he is to this basketball team, just like now. He's steadying them because he can play with anybody inside.
And he is a good leader. He talks to Malachi Rhodes, some of the other big men on this team, and you need it with so many youngsters.
Absolutely.
3-point play completed by Moore, so he has 3. Could have had more. He couldn't get some other shots here. A pull-up jumper by Healy, and it'll miss. And boy, great box out by Bucknell. Toomer will fly in to get the Bucknell rebound, down 8. Toomer shakes, bakes, stops at the foul line. Will keep the dribble alive. Give it back to Funk. Over to Toomer. I'd attack Clark with 1 foul already. I think Clark could pick up another. But instead, Funk will give it to Spear. Lost the handle on the ball. Funk gets it back, but it's loose. And another turnover. Clark gets it for Albany, up 23-18, 15.
Well, that was just a great play, great hustle by this Risotto kid. Local kid coming up. This is probably a chance closest he gets to home. But he's really playing hard.
Sure is. Now Keeley off a screen, attacks the glass, and he got caught in midair. And a lot of things go wrong when you do that, and he throws it to the wrong team. Funk for Bucknell. Little sloppy play here recently, but I think, like you said, Coach, the defense is kind of picking things up.
It is.
Here's Toomer again attacking, and he's going to draw another foul. I think Toomer has been more aggressive. He has had to grow into this role here, so he's going to get the foul on D'Souza. That'll be team foul number 9 on Albany is first. We'll have a media timeout. Coach and I will talk about that when we resume play. 7:06 remaining in the first half. It's the Great Danes 23, the Bison 15. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. Hey, Bison fans, for all your game day needs, stop at Wise Markets in Lewisburg. Wise Markets is a proud sponsor of the Bucknell Bison. Ray Bucknell. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery at Soika Pavilion is 7:06 remaining in the half. It's the Great Danes 23, the Bison 15. Both teams struggling some with turnovers. Albany just picked up its 9th. Bucknell has 7. And Hall of Famer Al Leslie just came out and spoke to the crowd. It's great. He's one of the 4 jerseys which have been retired in a beautiful area up here on the concourse. It'd be the east side concourse next to the Graham building. Coach Flannery, and Al Leslie is one of those 4 jerseys. And he, Molly Creamer, Hal Danzig's up there, and Jennifer Walls.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
What a special honor, huh?
Yeah, and have you looked at that?
Oh,
Isn't
it's
that
gorgeous. Pretty? Well, hey, listen, I've said as long as I've been here, when Bucknell does those things, and I compliment the athletic administration, when they do things, they do it right. I mean, the facilities, and when they put something together like that, it's always beautiful. And, I credit Tim and their staff and Jermaine now being here, and this is just a special place. And all of these things are done first class. And that up there where they have the jerseys retired now is just a beautiful area. And the new Hall of Fame area is going to be a beautiful area. I saw some of the diagrams of that.
Toomer missed the first of 2 free throws. He'll hit the second now. Avi will get a break, and here's Walter Ellis in. Now, just like when Clark sat down for Albany, when Toomer sits down. Now, I know Toomer has 7 points already. How will that affect Bucknell?
Well, somebody has to have the toughness that Toomer and
here's a three by Healy, and against the guy that Toomer replaced, Ellis.
When you're playing one-on-one like Toomer and Healy, they're going at each other, and you put one of them down, and Healy, you could just see him licking his chops. He was going to get a look, and that was his first real clean look today. Here's
a tough three by Ellis to answer. Kind of a bad shot there for Walter. He thought he was fouled, no foul, and here's a 10-point lead for Albany, and Great Danes with it with 6.5 minutes remaining in the half. Clark off a screen by Lauderdale will take it right inside, pump fake, and draw a foul on Sotos. It's going to be Jimmy's second, the first Bison with 2. It'll be team foul number 6 on Bucknell. And boy, Clark is a veteran, the senior out of Bowie, Maryland, third-team All-America East a year ago.
Well, he's played high school. He played the best schedule in the country with DeMatha, so he's been in against good people. He has a lot of game in the sense that his IQ, drawing fouls, jumping into people, plays the angle. So yeah, he's been an impressive kid. I mean, I knew they were guard heavy, but I've heard a lot about Healy. I saw tape on Healy. But this Clark has really been impressive.
He averages 14. Healy, who just got his first points on a 3 a moment ago, averages 18. Clark hits the first free throw. He has 11 of the 27. Now for Albany, the Great Danes led by 15. Second free throw, no good. Moore gets the miss for Bucknell. And now the Albany Great Danes lead it by 11 again. Rice will give it in a weave. Here is Ellis in between the rings. Guarded by the smaller guy. It'd be nice if Ellis could post up. But it's a bad pass here by Funk, and it'll go in the backcourt, and Bucknell will get turnover number 9.
And there's a little case there. Now, Walter's out front. They're running that down and curl on Funk. Funk's so used to, he knows where Jimmy's going to be. He knows where Ami's going to be, and that's just they got to get used to playing with each other. And when Funk there got cut off, he's used to kicking it out there, and somebody's there, and Walter wasn't where Funk's used to seeing somebody there. But that's why that's what you're playing this time of the year for.
Healy for Albany will give it to Rizzuto, flinging around to Hanson, who just checked back in. Up to Healy, who hit a 3 a moment ago. Now he's switched on by Moore. He'll give it up top to Rizzuto. Will kick it over to Healy, and now Healy couldn't hold on to a pass. So, Albany, uncharacteristically, only averaging 12 turnovers a game. That's number 10 for Coach Brown's squad.
They almost look like they're getting the shots they want at times. So now they're rushing it and trying to make their own play, like as if they don't have the same respect that for people guarding them. That really does.
Bison down 11 with the ball. Here's Spear back on the floor, tried to split a double team, threw it off the glass, no good, and the rebound Albany, but Lauderdale, who got it flat-footed, his heels were on the inline, so Bucknell will get it back, and they will move the shot clock to 20. Boy, Coach Harrison looks pretty exasperated. I don't think that was the shot they wanted Khalil to take. Now, he could drive there and then kick out to somebody in the corner, maybe. Here's a long outlet. Funk will get it over the shoulder. Guarded by Rizzuto. He'll cross him over. Nope, I'm sorry, that's Healy. Now Funk will fling it over on the left side. Here's Moore spotting up for a 3, and it's too hard. He's 1 for 19 this year from 3. Here's Albany with it, leading by 11 with 5:20 remaining in the half. Healy playing the point now. We'll bounce it over, have the horns look, as they like to call that set, to Hanson. Back over to Healy, who'll now trying to get it down underneath. Funk knocks the ball loose from D'Souza. But Healy will give it up top to Lauderdale. He'll hand it off to Rizzuto for a long 3 up and brick. Rebound tracked down by Funk, and Funk played really well on that defensive set.
I'm so impressed, Doug, by both teams. They're scouts on these guys, on each other. They really know each other well.
They sure do. As Funk tried to go with an off-balance layup, he'll miss. So Albany brings it in the front court here. There is Healy against the freshman Rice. He'll have his pocket picked by King Rice's son. Here's Xander, 1-on-2. Give it to Ellis. This is his shot from 3. Too hard. Rebound Spear. He'll outlet it to Funk. Back up top to Rice. Rice will back it out with the Bison down 11 to Albany.
I think they're getting Healy out of there. I think he's really struggling on the offensive end.
Now
so
here's
tribute to Bucknell.
Spear will bounce to Moore with 5 to shoot for Bucknell. Moore backs down Lauderdale for his patented 10-foot fader, and he'll miss it. And the rebound taken by D'Souza for Albany, up 11. 27-16, coming up on our last media timeout of the half. It's Rhodes and Toomer getting set to check in for Bucknell. There's Healy with it off a switch. Funk picks him up. He'll come off a screen, give it to the screener. But the ball is knocked loose by Funk, knowing that the pass was going to go to the screener. He'll get it stolen. Here is Ellis, left wing for a 3. Too hard. Rebound comes to Albany, and this could be a run out. Healy will hold up, though. Got to watch. He'll pull up for that 3. Coach Brown calling out the play here with the Great Danes up by double digits over Bucknell. Now here's Healy attacking, tried to draw contact, couldn't get a foul. And then blocking the shot was Moore, and then saving it, but out of bounds was Bucknell's Rice. And we'll have a media timeout. Little ragged play here lately. Media timeout with 3:40 remaining. Great Danes 27, Bison 16. Great Danes will have 16 to shoot when we resume action. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107.
Next.
It's crunch time, presented by Middlesworth Potato Chips. With over 10 varieties to choose from, you need to pick up a bag of your favorite Middlesworth potato chip at your favorite convenience or grocery store and enjoy some tonight. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery at Swicka Pavilion. 3:40 remain in the half. It's the Great Danes 27, the Bison 16. Bucknell is trailed by as many as 15 to Albany. Albany shooting 56%, Coach, but has turned the ball over 12 times. Meanwhile, Bucknell only 17%, and the Bison have 8 turnovers. So, in many ways, I think Bucknell has to be fortunate, only down 11.
Well, and turnovers are a product of, maybe poor decisions, but also good defense.
Yeah.
And so the defensive end of it, they're doing a great job.
Well, you mentioned before about you think both of these teams have scouted the other well. I think that Funk did that with that last turnover a moment ago on the pass from Healy.
I think they've done a real good job, both teams. I see their calling, and I see where they're getting to on each call. And I know what Albany runs and Bucknell. There's a double on the post.
Yeah, and he'll get it out to D'Souza for a baseline jumper at the shot clock buzzer. No good, but Rice knocks him down, and D'Souza will go to the line. Boy, Bucknell has picked up some tough fouls. Xander will get team foul number 7, his first, and it'll send D'Souza to the line. He's 10 of 17 entering today's game. Sophomore out of Beacon, New York, went to South Kent School there in Connecticut. Had a double-double in the big win against Canisius. Mom played softball in Albany. We'll have 2 free throws here. The Great Danes up 11. He'll drain this first one. So Albany at the line right now, 6 of 7. Bucknell also 6 of 7 at the charity stripe. Difference right now is Albany 4 of 8 from 3. Bucknell 2 of 13.
Yeah, big difference.
Souza will have a second one. And boy, that was late in the shot clock too. This will rim out. Rebound though, Albany. And here comes D'Souza with it with an opportunity. He'll have the ball deflected out of bounds by Toomer. And boy, you just can't allow missed free throws to turn into rebounds, can you?
No, you just give them another opportunity.
It's one thing if it's in the act of shooting, but off a free throw, you pretty much know where the ball is going to rebound off of, as opposed to like a jump shot. So Albany with it up a dozen. Under 4 minutes remain in the half.
Well, I like Rhodes and Moore in that post defense. Those two can really lock you.
Boy, Clark had a great move to free himself from Rice, then missed a jump shot badly. He scored 11 early points, making 10 early points, hadn't scored since, but Albany still leads it by a dozen. Here comes another foul on Lauderdale for Albany, banging around with Moore, and Kendall's going to get his second, team foul number 10, so it'll be a double bonus for Bruce Moore and the Bison with 2:53 remaining. Bruce 1 for 1, playing in his 109th career game. He has 4 career double-doubles, oddly enough, 2 of them against American last year, and I think Coach wants him to get more rebounds. It's interesting. He didn't have any rebounds in that game against Ryder on Tuesday as he hits the first free throw, Coach. But he does box out and lets guards get the rebounds a lot of times.
Yeah, it's not always the person that finishes. It takes a cumulative team. I mean, there's times where we used to match and our guards would be the leading rebounder because the big guys did all the hard work and kept people off the board.
Moore hits both free throws, so Great Danes lead trimmed to 10 with 2:43 remaining. Clark has it up top off a screen by Lauderdale. He'll penetrate left elbow and he'll throw a bad pass, but it goes through the hands of Toomer for a layup, up and good by Rizzuto. Boy, that's kind of how things have gone for Albany in this first half and for Bucknell.
That was good living.
It was. Now Rice in the front court for Bucknell, down a dozen. Give it to Funk, up top to Moore. Moore will hand it off. Well, he'll pitch it over for a Toomer. 3 left side. Bingo! Boy, Avi Toomer, we knew in high school he had a 50-point game, Coach. He could score, but he's really taken on that role this his senior year.
He has to. He's one of the guys that's going to have to score for them. And when he gets going and makes a couple and sees the ball go down, he's dynamite. What a defensive play.
He blocks the jump shot that time. And the crowd loves the effort by the Grady High School Atlanta, Georgia product. He'll flip it to his fellow senior Moore. He will hook his man, kick it out to Toomer. He's open for a straight-ahead three. Off the rim, no good. And Albany gets the rebound, up 9 with 1:40 left in the half. Coach Brown has his use it or lose it timeout, but he won't take it here. Healy not on the floor right now, and you saw an interesting exchange with Coach Brown and Healy.
Yeah, that's interesting. See what he does with him.
Lauderdale will hand it to Clark off a screen. He'll come with the ball up to Hansen. He'll drive on Moore. He'll get caught. Throw it right side to Rizzuto. Bounce pass back down low for a layup up in. No good by Hansen. Did a good job not fouling Moore. Here comes the ball in the front court to Bucknell's Funk left wing. Out to the freshman Rice. He'll pitch it over to Toomer with 23 to shoot. 1:09 left in the half, and the Bison with the ball down 9 to Albany. Bucknell is fending off some Albany charges, and if they could keep it under double digits at the half, that would be big.
That's a great battle out here with Clark and Toomer.
There's Rhodes with 8 to shoot. He's open, so shoot a long jumper, too hard. And the rebound is taken by Rice. Shot clock was down to 5. I think Rhodes felt he had to heave it up there. Now Coach Brown will take the use it or lose it timeout with 22 to shoot, 42 remain in the half, and the Bison down by 9 to Albany. The Great Danes have led by as many as 15. Prior to the Yale game, Albany had won 3 in a row. Trailed by as many as 19 points in the first half to American at home, but defeated the Eagles by 4. Sometimes that's a kind of game that can really get your season going, can it, Coach?
Well, it can, and also the way they play. The shot clock, the 3 is all to their favor. They run so many sets that they're going to get looks. It's a matter of whether they're going to make shots or not. They're not going to get wild. I mean, this 12 turnover for them, I think that's probably a season high.
They only average 12 a game.
In a half. Yeah. So they're really out of character a little bit here, the way they're going up and down. And like you said before, this could be a big number here if not for those turnovers, the way they play. So I feel very good where Bucknell is right now going into halftime. We get a stop here and keep that here. They got to feel good. And
no surprise, Coach Brown brought Healy back in.
Yeah, for one possession. So he may try to make up with the boy here and try to run something for him, but I have a feeling it will be Clark.
And here's Clark against Rice. Steps back, gives it up to Healy now. He'll drive on Toomer, gives it down low for a Hansen jam and a foul. Wow, what a nice pass that time to Hansen. He'll get his first 2 emphatically, and Moore will get whistled for his second, team foul number 8. Hansen will go to the line, shooting 14 of 21 this year. The senior out of the U.S. Virgin Islands, transfer from a community college, and also Savannah State. So now Moore will come out. You surprised with the shot clock down? I know you have 2 fouls, but Moore does get called for offensive fouls. Maybe that's why they didn't want to keep him in, even though he has two fouls.
Yeah, you have to get him out of there.
Hansen had tough luck on the
they're going to call that.
throw.
They're going to call that on Rhodes.
Oh my, you're right. Had tough luck. The ball ricocheted around, and Hank came in with 2 fouls, and the fans thought Hank fouled Rhodes, but they call a foul on Rhodes. That's going to be Malachi's second, team foul number 9. And it's going to be Hank to the line here. Brent started, but picked up 2 quick fouls. He's 3 of 8 from the charity stripe. He's out of Port Lincoln, Australia. And as we said, Coach Brown loves these Australians with the Great Danes up by 11. And the free throw by Hank, and it falls off. That's kind of an awkward shot, about like me shooting a free throw.
He didn't deserve that.
Guess not. So the shot clock is off. 26 left in the half. Bucknell down 11 again. You get it under double digits. Have to feel pretty good the way Bucknell struggled in this game.
They're going to bring Funk off of something here.
There's Toomer up top. Push off for a fading three. Bingo! Oh, my almighty! Toomer hits it. That'll be a half-court shot. Off the rim, no good by Clark. And Bucknell will trail it by 8, Coach, 32-24. That was pretty impressive on a step-back three by Toomer. Eight turnovers for Bucknell. Bucknell did have 6 steals, 4 steals for Albany. Bison also credited with 2 block shots. In terms of double-figure scores, 1 for Albany. That's Ahmad Clark. He had 11 points pretty early in the first half. Finished 3 of 4, 2 of 3 from 3, and 3 of 4 at the line. Other than that, it was 6 points, 3 rebounds for Kendall Lauderdale off the bench. For Bucknell, Avi Toomer hit pretty much a buzzer-beating 3 at the end of the first half. Finished with 13 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a turnover, a steal, and a block shot. 5 points, 2 rebounds for Bruce Moore. Coach Pat Flannery once again joining us here as we get ready for the start of the second half. You're watching on the Patriot League Network. You'll see some of the first half highlights there. But Coach Bucknell going to have to pick up the pace offensively. But really, to be quite honest with the folks watching and listening, I have a feeling that this Bucknell team has to feel pretty pleased to only be down 8 at the half to Albany.
Well, they do have to, especially the way it started out. And I thought, certainly Albany made some really tough shots. Clark, I think that's probably as good as he can play. And I don't mean that I'm complimentary. That's a heck of an effort in the first half. What I really liked, I thought that Moore and Toomer really established those 2 scorers that coach is looking for. I thought they were the guys that said, listen, I want the ball, we're in trouble. We're going to go. And I thought it settled everybody down. Now you throw in a jumper from Funk. You get Soto playing the point guard. You all of a sudden get Rhodes or Timmerman playing their roles. And now you can fit the bench in as opposed to the bench having to give you that big lift, that big offensive explosion. Ellis, they don't need that offensive explosion from those guys. They need them to fit in where you're out right night. So I like to see how this second half goes with Toomer and with Moore because I really felt this was the first time I felt that they established themselves as they're the guys that our kids went to that were going to be scorers. So let's see where we go from there.
Will fouls factor in? Sotos, Moore, Rhodes for Bucknell with 2 each. Hutchison, Lauderdale with 2 for Albany. Bucknell with it. Started this second half moving right to left against the man-to-man of the purple-clad Albany Great Danes. Sotos gets a screen from Malachi Rhodes. He started his second straight game. Pitch it over the right side now to Toomer with 11 to shoot. Good skip pass to Moore. He'll fake the 3, drive underneath on Hanks and draw his 3rd foul. So that could be a problem for Brent. He picks up his 3rd team foul number 1 this half.
But there's a case where Bruce Moore did not settle for the jump shot. He
faked it.
He made a move and took it to the basket, and that's so encouraging.
Hank will stay out there with his 3rd foul, and Bucknell gets 20 on the shot clock, trailing it by 8. Sotos attacks, kick it out. Here's an open 3 by Moore. Line drive shot misses, and the rebound taken by the Great Danes. Going off the head that time of Hutchison was Healy. So the Great Danes with it up 8, led by as many as 15 in the first half.
Didn't like that 3.
There is Hank to Clark. He'll stop at the foul line, dish it out to Healy. He'll drive on Toomer, give it back out to Clark with 10 to shoot. Now on the right side, it comes to Rizzuto. He'll attack Rhodes, pump fake, and draw a foul on Malachi. And that's just something that the young guy is going to have to learn to stay on his feet because, Rizzuto's 6'3", but Malachi's 6'8", and if he just stands there, it'd be a tough shot, even though he was that close to the bucket, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just good offensive play. The kid was stuck in there, and you got a freshman on his back. He got him on the air and jumped into him, and now you give it a 50-50 whistle, and he got a whistle. I'm not sure he was shooting the basketball, though. I think it should have been on the floor, but he gave it to him.
And the York product out of Northeastern High School there in the southern part. Pennsylvania hits first.
See, don't you think we settled down here for a jumper, and there they took it to the basket, and now they got 2 there.
So it increases the lead back to 10. 34-24 early part of the second half. Toomer with it, working on Rizzuto. He will lose the handle on the ball, get it back on the right wing, give it up top to Moore. Moore will swing it around to Sotos. He'll attack the basket with a drive and get the foul on Clark, and that's what you called for, Coach. Ahmad gets his team second for Albany this half.
Make them have to play, make them have to play at the basket, not turn it into a jump shooting.
And don't you think Bucknell's big guys like Toomer and Sotos can drive on these guards?
They're big, they're physical, they can get the ball to the basket. And that's what it looks like, Coach, and it looks like what the staff's decided in the second half. That's why I was surprised at Moore's 3. He did the right thing the first time. I thought he was going to do it again, and he did. But in that process of that, I think they're coming. I think they're learning. I think they're understanding where their strengths are.
Soto's hit the first free throw. He'll put the second one up and rattle it in. So he has 5 points, all at the line. He only scored 2 on Tuesday at Ryder. Bison trail it by 8. Bucknell needs to start this second half well. He's kind of struggled in that category here this year. Hutchison on the left wing will bounce up top to Hank, who stays out there for Albany with 3 fouls. Here's Healy. He'll get the ball knocked from behind by Toomer. And coming into the game is Bucknell's Alex Timmerman to complete the steal. He'll give it to Sotos, who will dish it over to Toomer deep right corner. Look for more, but he's defended in front and behind. So we'll go to Funk over to Timmerman last. And he'll give it off to Toomer. He'll go down low, and the ball knocked loose in the hands of Timmerman. And Alex will get it over the rim and good. That's kind of what Albany had in that first half, Coach.
Yeah, you'll take those breaks.
Now here's Clark. Pull up in the left elbow and give it out to Healy for Albany. Up by 6 with the ball. Here's Rizzuto. Skips a pass over to Clark for a 3, but he'll step out of bounds with it. Well, that's tough. When they added that extra 1.5 feet, or roughly a little bit over a foot with that 3-point arc, it gets really short in that corner, and sometimes jump shooters like to step back, and they'll step out of bounds, won't they?
We've talked about a number of nights. It's really important when you're running in transition. Everybody teaches your kids to get wide, and that is so tight over there that you see a lot of out-of-bounds calls.
Soto's nearly lost a handle on the ball. It did. Get up back. Get the Bison down 6. He'll penetrate left elbow. Give it to Funk, who has yet to score this half. Now he'll drive. Get a shot blocked by Hank. And it'll be pulled down by Hutchison. Here comes Clark. He'll give it to a lead off Hank. Hank will go underneath, and he'll get caught and throw the ball away. Bucknell with it, and then there's going to be a tee on Coach Brown. I think he thought Hank was fouled, and there may have been a case for that, but he may have said the magic word, and Coach Davis got a tee Tuesday against Ryder. So Coach Brown will give Bucknell 2 free throws with his team up 6 with 17:20 left. Coach, what do you think when you get a tee like that? Does that fire up your team, or is that why you think Coach Brown did it, or does he have to get the attention of the officials?
Well, I think if any coach is going to be honest with you, 90% of the time it's because of emotions. You're coaching the game, you're coaching it hard, and there's a case where, this is a young guy right here. I told you when he came in, I've never seen him. He's a young, looks like a young ref. Maybe Brown thinks he can get on him a little bit. He didn't like what he had there. But I also know that when you're on the road like that and you get something like that, that can hurt you. I mean, that can hurt you on the road, particularly because now they're not going to give in to any of this call. They're going to continue to call the game they were. But now you're in a box where he's got to be careful over there.
And he's staring down that official too as you're talking, Coach. He was staring at him the whole time out.
Well, in 19 years, he better, he knows something. So,
Soto's made 1 of 2 free throws now. Soto's open for a 3. Rims in, comes out, fight for the rebound, and it's saved by Albany. Nice job by Healy to save it to Clark. Great Danes with it, up by 5 with 16:58 left. Clark goes to the glass for a layup. Boy, Bucknell having trouble finishing layups. Clark didn't that time. He has 13. Sotos goes to the glass. He'll throw it to Toomer, and Toomer wasn't ready for it, and it goes out of bounds for a turnover.
Really impressed, though, with this Timmerman. We talked about the other night. You know what? Like that play we said we were lucky on that it kicked off. So he seems to be in the right place at the right time. He knows what his role is and what he does. And even on that layup by Funk, Timmerman held his man back. That's a good basketball play. He just sealed his guy so he couldn't get the help. So all those little kind of plays, it's really been impressive to see him play. I'm looking forward to seeing him more.
Turnover number 9 for Bucknell. So the Great Danes will get it back up by 7, and here comes a foul on Bucknell. As they came in with Lauderdale, Albany did. There'll be a foul on Alex Timmerman. It'll be his first. Team foul number 2 this half on Bucknell. Great Danes lead at 36-29, 16:41 remaining. Hutchison will give it to the left corner to Rizzuto, come off a screen. Now here's a drive by Healy. Back out to Lauderdale. He's open for a 15-footer. He'll miss it short. He was open, but there may have been a reason why he was open.
Well, you said it better than I could. Sometimes when we take those shots, there's a reason you're open.
Here is Timmerman getting a screen for a Toomer 3, and it bounces off the rim, off the top of the backboard, and Albany will get it up 7. Here comes Clark. He'll fake the 3, go down low, kick it out right side to Healy. He'll have the ball knocked loose from behind by Avi Toomer, but it'll go back to Albany here.
It's about the 4th time, though, that Toomer's come behind him when he's gotten beat on that back tap. Got to be careful on that.
Can he steal it and gain control of the ball?
Well, I worry that it's going to create a 5-on-4 if you keep getting beat off the dribble that easily. Because he's really done a good job on him defensively, so I don't want to see.
Hutchison posts up and gets a layup, just rolls off the rim, kind of like Bucknell's shots in the first half. And so Bucknell gets the rebound down 7. There's Funk calling for the ball for an open 3. Off the rim, no good.
Great look, though. Great look.
Sure
that you'll take.
So here comes Clark back the other way. He'll stop left wing, give it up top to Healy, wide open for 3. And that off the rim. Boy, more closed out, but it was way after Healy was in motion. That's fortunate for the Bison.
I don't know what his shooting percentage is with Healy. He has a kind of funky shot, but he's got to be able to score from there if he's scoring 18 a game.
Shoots 46%, 40% from 3. Now Sotos drives to the glass.
Use the traffic.
That's his first field goal today, Coach. He has 8 points, though. And the Bison trim a 15-point deficit to 5 with still a lot of time left. 15-20. Chance of defense by the Bison Nation student group. About 100 or so in attendance tonight. Healy off a screen by Lauderdale. Tried to get it back to the big guy. Still will have to go up top to Hutchison with 10 on the clock for Albany. Now here's Clark, switched on by Moore. He's going to go by him on the drive, and he will get fouled, and Bruce will get whistled for his team's third.
But there again, the way the game played now, Doug, with this fouls with a guy like Bruce Moore, all this switching creates those kind of mismatches, and you're going to get some fouls if you're switching like that all the time, and that's what happens. It's a shame for the bigger guys, but they end up on these guards because of all the switching, and in that case, it got him. Is that his second or third?
Third. So that'll get us to a media timeout. 15:04 remaining in this one. It's the Great Danes 36, the Bison 31. This is Bucknell basketball, presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. Steineger's Laundry and Dry Cleaning has been serving the Susquehanna Valley since 1955 and is a proud supporter of Bucknell Athletics. Drop by or call to find out about their wash and fold service, keeping Bison fans looking their best. With locations in Lewisburg, Selinsgrove, and Danville. That's Steineger's Laundry and Dry Cleaning. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery, and Swicka Pavilion. 15:04 remaining in this one. Great Danes 36, Bison 34. Albany led by as many as 15 in the first half, Coach. Bucknell has cut it to as few as 5. That's what we stand right now. But Bruce Moore just picked up his 3rd foul. And you mentioned it before we went to the break. Switching defenses, that's what all the coaches seem to like to do nowadays. Would Bruce have been better to have let that guy drive and hope that there would be help on the backside, or did he have to follow him down?
Or be able to follow him down and be able to get a piece of it. But you hope that with the way Bruce Moore helps in the lane, somebody would help him in the lane as well. And I think when those big guys get stretched on the outside, guards don't help in the lane like big men. It's like playing the old kick the wiki where you stay near your tag. They're used to being close near the basket. 15-minute mark, think of this. 8 assists and 15 turnovers for Albany, 4 assists and 9 turnovers for Bucknell. Take this next 15 minutes and see what that stat turns out to be, and that's who's going to win this basketball game.
What about the rebounds, too? Albany up by 8, 25-17, but is that a product of the bad shooting?
That's a product of shooting. The turnover and the assist is something you can control, and whoever does the next 15 minutes does a better job of that is going to win the game, the assist to turnover.
Clark will go to the line. He missed his first of the night earlier in the first half, but he'll rattle this one home. It's his 5th attempt tonight. He has 14 points, had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers against Yale. They gave the Bulldogs all they could handle up at SEFCU Arena in Albany on Wednesday before falling by 9, 61-52.
It's a tough place to play up there in Albany. They have a real good crowd. They always play well up there. It's a trip.
Bucknell with it, down 7 again. Timmerman, deep right corner, looks inside to Moore, who stays out there with 3 fouls. Now Moore tried to get it, and they call an offensive foul on Bruce, trying to gain room. He was 1 on 3. And did you think Avi may have tried to force it too much that time?
Well, the whole place was looking in there. I mean, they came out of that timeout and they were going to go to him. We should have given that up and bailed out of that. Albany had 5 guys around him. It's what we've done coming out of there. And everybody, including the official, was looking inside. Everybody was looking at that target.
In that case, do you come on the wing instead of dump it high-low?
You continue to move side to side and go to somebody else. But we were determined that we were going to get it into him.
There's a turnover, so here is a drive by Rizzuto, kicking out for an open 3 by Hutchison, up and good. And that may be your change right there because Bruce Moore was subbed out by Spear. Now Hutchison hits a 3, his 2nd of the night. Hit one very early in the first half, and it's a 10-point lead for Albany. Now here's Sotos, nice head and shoulder fake, puts up a tough shot, rolls around the rim and out. Thought he got fouled, no whistle. Here comes Clark with it. It's going to be a very important stretch here for Albany. He'll go in for an unmolested layup. Well, would have been unmolested, but Timmerman fouls it. And now Bucknell, not a bad look by Sotos, and he thought he was fouled. He's talking to the official right now, but in that case, I don't know. Do you try and pass the ball a few times before you just immediately drive? I don't know.
It's a pretty quick shot. You also, what I always look at, and what I think is, have you given your team a chance to get an offensive rebound? And I think that's big. And that would be something I'd talk to players constantly about. Take the shot, but do we have a chance to rebound it, or is it going to be what I call roulette? It's either goes in or they're coming the other way. But, again, they got to make those decisions. I like the aggressiveness with it. And you have to make decisions in this game.
Healy, a 93% free throw shooter, hit the first, and the second will give Albany a 12-point lead, and it does. He only has 5 points, but he hit a 3 for a 42nd straight game. That's tough to do, Coach.
Yeah, that means you're getting good stuff run to you.
Great Danes up 12. Now, who will score for Bucknell? Here's Sotos off a pass from Toomer. We'll give it to Funk left side, back out to Sotos. Good ball reversal right side to Spear, back up top to Funk. He'll put the dribble down. They'll have the ball stripped away from behind. Here's a 2-on-2. Clark will just run in, travel with the ball. No travel, and Spear will get a steal. Coach Brown, I think, thought there was a foul, but I think it could have been a travel. Here's Toomer going in. Pass to Toomer. He'll get a layup. Good!
No, he called a foul before the shot.
Oh. Wow, on the floor. I don't know if he put the ball back down, but whatever the case is, it'll be a foul on Lauderdale. He is 3rd, and Timmerman will have to help the Bison on inbound. So now Lauderdale has 3. Hank comes in with 3. And again, Coach Brown doesn't have a whole lot of big guys to set screens right now.
Yeah. Well, they're not the guys that.
Here's Toomer. He gets fouled. And they call an offensive foul.
Oh, that's horrible.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
Toomer did a Euro step, and Clark falls down, and they call a charge on Toomer, who's still saying, I just did a Euro step. He'll get his 2nd, team foul number 6.
I don't care if it's Euro or the Middle East. That's not a good call.
And here is Hank getting fouled. Now Toomer tried to block the shot, but they already called a foul on Timmerman. He'll get his 3rd.
He grabbed his jersey on the slip.
We just saw it on Patriot League Network. I wasn't able to see it on the monitor. But Albany will inbound up 12 with 13-19 left. Now Coach Davis is not happy with that call.
I think they're trying to check on who the foul was. It wasn't on Toomer.
It's the 17th foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Albany.
Yeah, it was on Timmerman.
That's his third, so it will send Hank to the line. Brent went in the first half, missed his only free throw on a three-point opportunity. Former member of the U19 Australian Emus team. And he puts his free throw up and no good. He has an awkward free throw motion. So Bucknell gets the rebound, down 12 with still a lot of time, 13-13 left. Funk off a screen by Timmerman. Good screen. Defender fell down. Out to Spear up top. He's going to hand it off to Soto's right wing. He'll penetrate for a pull-up 16-footer. Rims in, comes out. Tap by Spear up, no good. He got knocked down. No foul call, but they'll say the ball went out of bounds off Albany nonetheless, as Rizzuto will check back in. The kid from York, Pennsylvania, come in for Healy. Bucknell has done a good job on Cameron, but you got to get this close, and you don't want him to go crazy on you.
Yeah.
Bucknell will inbound the ball over the shoulder grab by Funk. He'll give it up top to Avi Toomer. Toomer gets a nice drive. He'll go up for a left-hand shot. Good! And this one, he will be fouled. D'Souza gets his second, team foul number 4. And boy, it was a good seal up at the top. I think Toomer didn't even use the screen. He rejected it and drove right down.
Again, Doug, Timmerman, when he rolls, he keeps people from getting to the basket, and he's causing our guards to be able to get there one-on-one as opposed to somebody coming from the weak side. But he does a great job of holding them off there. But that's just a man move. That's Toomer taking that at that guard. He didn't have a chance. He just overpowered him.
So now Lauderdale has 3, Hank has 3, Clark and D'Souza have 2 each for Albany. And here comes Clark for a pull-up left elbow jumper. Back rimmed it no good. Timmerman came out on him, and a rebound comes to Bucknell's Sotos. He'll dish it behind him to Toomer. He has the hot hand, but up top to Sotos. He'll drive by Hank for a layup, and Hank had 3 fouls. He wasn't going to defend him.
There again, the switching. We attacked the right guy. That ended up Soto on their big, isolated.
Bison have scored 5 in a row, trail it now by 7 again. Had it down to 5 a moment ago. Albany went back up by 12. There's Clark against Timmerman. He'll go with a pass, and stepping in front of Hank is Sotos for Bucknell. Another turnover for the Great Danes. Bison down 7 with the ball with 12 minutes left. Sotos keeps the drive alive. We'll skip it up to Spear. He'll fake the 3. Hand it off to Funk. He'll pull up for a 3. Bingo! Big 3 for Funk. He has 6 on both 2 3-pointers.
Caught it out of rhythm, Doug, and a look. They expected him to take that shot. It was in rhythm. It's a great look.
That'll go to a full media timeout as Coach Brown will take it. 11:47 remaining in this one. It's the Great Danes 43, the Bison 39 after a Funk 3-pointer. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Geisinger and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. It's time for the Bison scoreboard, brought to you by Caldwell Banker. Visit them at 331 Market Street in Lewisburg. Let them show you what team spirit is all about. Well, the Bucknell men's water polo team unfortunately fell to second-ranked USC on Thursday out in California. It was at Pacific University. But what a great year for the Bison, going to the quarterfinal round, taking on a really good Trojans team. The team was recognized during a media timeout earlier tonight. I'm Doug Birdsong. Pat Flannery, the Hall of Fame coach and player at Bucknell University, joining me for this home game as the Bison trail at 43-39 to Albany. But Coach, Bucknell shooting a little bit better this half, 5 of 13, 38% after only 22% in the first 20 minutes. And the Great Danes, Bucknell has done a better job after shooting 52%. The Bison have held the Great Danes to this point, 2 of 6, 33%. You were talking about assist to turnovers since that last dead ball. The Great Danes have picked up 2 more turnovers, 1 assist. Bucknell,
actually 4 turnovers.
Oh, 4 turnovers, you're right.
3 for Bucknell, so they're just turning the ball over more than we are.
And here comes Clark with it after the timeout by Coach Brown. Both teams would, nope, Bucknell has 3. Here's a 3 by Healy. Rims in, comes down. Timmerman gets the rebound, and then he gets fouled. Well, he just ran and got the ball, and he about took the head off of one of the Albany guys, but they call a foul on an Albany player. Now Coach Davis is going to take a timeout, so both teams will now have 2 timeouts. That'll go to another media timeout. So 11:37 remaining in this one. It's Great Danes 43, the Bison 39. Bucknell will have the ball when we resume play. This is Bucknell basketball, presented by Guy Singer and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. When the love of the game takes you to town, you're guaranteed to win with the Hampton Inn by Hilton in Lewisburg. Hampton's playbook includes a clean and fresh Hampton bed and a complimentary hot breakfast. Just go to lewisburgpa.hamptoninn.com to reserve your room today. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery at Soika Pavilion, 11:37 remaining in this one. It's the Great Danes 43, the Bison 39. Bucknell trailed by 15 in the first half and trailed by 8 at the half. Cut it to 5 at one stretch. Great Danes jumped back on top by 12. And now the Bison trail it by 4 with the rock. So good rebound by Timmerman. They called the foul on Hansen, and that's going to be Romani's second and team foul number 6 this half already on Albany, Coach.
Get it to it's a 12-minute ball game. Nothing as they say, and I think the confidence is coming, and they're taking good shots, still defending hard.
Timmerman stays out there, gives to Toomer left wing. Timmerman off a screen, will pick up the ball top of the key, give it back to Funk. He'll shoot a corner 3 off the rim.
Great look out of a timeout, though, Doug. That's a great set. They went misdirection for Funk. It's good to see them going to him.
Clark will give it now to Rizzuto, back to Clark in a weave. And Clark will drive on Timmerman, picked up by Toomer, give it back outside to Hansen, left side to Healy for an off-balance 3, and that is off the rim, no good. Hansen with the rebound, had his pocket picked by Toomer, and he'll give it over to Spear. Avi Toomer is playing lights out today, Coach.
Yeah, he's showing all the confidence in the world.
I think you go to Toomer this time, not Funk. Here is Spear right side, and if I'm Toomer, I take the ball. I don't give it up. There is Funk at the top of the key. There is Toomer. He'll fake the jumper. He'll go in, dish to Timmerman for a layup. It'll roll in. He'll get the assist anyway, Coach.
Right. That's a veteran move. Didn't force it. Hit the open man.
Tyson trailing by 2. 10:26 remaining. Clark gets the call.
I don't know who scores for them with Healy and Clark being played.
Well, here's Clark with it off a screen by Lauderdale for a step-back jumper, and it's Clark. Yeah. He'll hit it. He now has 17. Career high was 30.
That was a switch on to Timmerman.
Now Sotos will pick up the ball and give it to Spear. Khalil's played pretty well. Coming in for more, had 3 fouls. Now Toomer off a screen by Timmerman. Good screen. Toomer goes to the glass. Lay it up good. And he was fouled. And it started with Big Tim up front, Coach.
Sure did. Just so, just again has a knack for that. He knocked, he knocked a switch off, and Toomer got ahead of steam, turning the corner, and as we keep saying, he just can really finish at the rim.
Do you think that if Avi wants to, he could take over this game right now? Not that he isn't.
Well, and there's times that he has done that, but times that he gets himself in trouble is when there's a couple possessions here or there. And tonight he's just playing with his head up. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with a passion that I've seen a couple of situations happen where he just played right through it. When he plays through it, you know, he's a talented kid.
Do you ever sub him out, or do you go the next 10 minutes with him?
Well, I don't know how long Coach goes with some of these guys, but with these timeouts and all, I've always thought that in the game nowadays.
Here comes a steal as Toomer got it from Timmerman. He'll go 1-on-2. He'll pass it outside, and Sotos will get it. He'll throw it up to Funk. Bucknell down 1. Here's Funk to the glass. Bucknell up 1 with a Funk layup. That's Funkalicious. Boy, hustling all over the floor now, Khalil Spear.
He didn't settle. Andrew didn't settle for a 3. He took it to the basket, and they're doing all this without Moore.
Second lead of the night for the Bison. Here's Healy for Albany. Looks for Clark. Gives it instead to Hanson. Over the right side. Here's Hutchison. Switched on by Spear. Takes him inside. Bounce pass to Hank. Got his shot blocked by Spear, but there'll be a foul, I think, on Khalil. No, it's going to be an Alex. That's big, Coach. That should be his 4th, team foul number 8. Does send Hank to the line. He has struggled from there. Oh, boy. Funk with a hard take off the glass. Could have been possibly a foul on Clark, but there was no whistle on that, and Hank will go back to the line, the sophomore from Australia.
We have so much more confidence on the offensive end, but I'll go back to what I said, Doug. At this defensive end, I just think we're just on them, on their perimeter people. I mean, Clark hit that last step back off of Timmerman, but when it's guard on guard, our kids are just locking them. They can't go anywhere, and they have to get handoff and pick and roll to be able to get open. So that's got to give you a ton of confidence knowing that you can get stops.
Now we have a stoppage because our officials are going to go over and look at the monitor. I think Coach Davis said that foul shouldn't be on Timmerman. I agree. I mean, unless they say he got him from behind, Spear definitely got Hank from in front.
I didn't know if they were looking at who the foul was on or if they were looking at what kind of foul.
Flagrant. That's possible.
I completely I mean, I wouldn't even look at it if that was the case, but I'm just saying it was a pretty hard foul. But if Coach Davis was asking about who it was on, then that's probably what they're doing. I didn't really know you could do that, though, at the 9-minute mark. I know you can do it under 2.
They did check, and they just said it is on 40. Okay. So that's going to be his 4th. And they got it down there. So he got him from behind. Spear definitely got him from in front.
Do you know that guy, Doug? It looked like he was trying to tell you who
I'm
who
taking
the foul
him out
was
for
on.
dinner after this.
Okay. It looked like you and him might have known each other from back in the day.
I don't think I know too many of these
or
guys.
Maybe it was John here. Maybe he was looking at John.
He was looking at the scores table off here, or to the media table. Here comes Hank.
Good foul. That's a good foul. I know it gets a foul on him, but.
And he missed the free throw, so the Great Danes are trailing for only the 2nd time today, and the first time, Coach, was when it was 3-2.
Yeah. He's come back a long way.
Now Timmerman comes out.
They've done it on the defensive end.
Yeah, you're right on that one. Here's Hank at the line again with his team down 1. That one goes through. And he had good form on that one. The others he kind of pushed. This
little
one,
hitch.
Yeah, a little hitch in the old giddy up. 9 minutes remain. Bison in a tie game with Albany. Only the 2nd time, I think 1st time today we've been tied. Malachi Rhodes came in for Timmerman. He almost threw the ball away, but it's taken by Funk now with 17 to shoot for Bucknell. Out to Sotos. Bucknell spreading the floor. High screen by Rhodes. Sotos will reject it. Now skip it over to Spear. He'll fake the 3, pitch it underneath the Rhodes.
Make a move, big boy.
Here he goes with a spin. Layup good! And he was Fouled. That spells foul. That was your big move, Pat.
Yeah, he's been dying for that.
What a spin move. He had Hank
Explosive.
in the roto wheel.
Yep, explosive.
That's Brent's 4th foul. Team foul number 8. Bucknell trying to get its biggest lead of the game, which would be at this free throw by Rhodes. He has yet to attempt a free throw this year. Missed it off the back of the rim. 8:29 remaining, and now here comes Albany down to deuce with the ball. Albany 5-4. There is Clark on the left side off a screen by Hank. He'll take it inside, kick it outside to Hanson. He'll attack inside, kick it out to Healy for an open three left side, up and good. Well, Healy doesn't miss too many of those. That's a big one. He has 8. Bucknell down by 1, 49-48. Here's Toomer with it against the big guy, Hank. Take him off the drive. Give it to Funk left side. Funk will give it to a bad pass, nearly stolen by Hanson. Kind of telegraph that to Spear.
Healy doesn't want any part of Toomer, but he tries to switch every chance he gets to. They're trying to get him off of him because he's really locked him.
We have a media timeout right now with 7:58 remaining. It's a good one here in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania.
Heating up.
Great Danes 49, Bison 48. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Guy Singer and Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. Great news, there's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you can save 15% or more on car insurance. Hey, the Learfield IMG College Directors Cup is the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions for both men's and women's teams. It's the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993. Doug Birdsong, Pat Flannery, 7:58 remaining here at Soika Pavilion. Great Danes 49, Bison 48. Difference right now, Great Danes have one more made three, 6 of 15, 40%. Bucknell 5 of 23, 22%. And that three by Healy a moment ago gave the Great Danes the lead. So we have had 4 lead changes and 1 tie here today. Shout out to one of your sons, Ryan Flannery, out in South Carolina. He's listening and watching.
They're listening. You got some viewers there, Doug. We got some listeners.
There's Sodos. Hutchison on him in the Albany man-to-man. Give it to Funk left side. Andrews had a couple of threes, but has missed on some tough ones. Shot clock at 5. Here was a screen by Rhodes. Funk pulls up for a 3. Rims in, comes out. Spear gets the rebound. Put it off the glass. And Khalil Spear with a big offensive board. Number 6 tonight for Bucknell, 3 for Albany.
A lot of good things happening, Doug, for kids that, are trying to find minutes here. This is what I said about, preseason.
Clark, great pass out for an open 3, up and no good. As Hutchison missed it, he was wide open. Here's Bucknell with the ball in the lead. First time tonight that's occurred. There is Funk, great pass out to Sotos. Ball fake to his right, over to his left it goes to Toomer. Looks inside to Spear, hand off to Funk, back up to Rhodes.
Toomer look here.
Now Sotos with it with 15 to shoot on the right wing off a screen by Spear. It's a good one. So Sotos will penetrate, kick it out to Rhodes. He nearly walked. Give to Spear, right baseline. Try to pass to Toomer. He'll just pull the ball away. It's still on the deck. Toomer's still fighting for it, asking for a foul. And they're going to call a tie ball possession arrow to Albany. Wow. And then there was a ball slapped out by Healy, and that's going to be a tee. I think Healy, coach, you called it. He is so frustrated by Avi Toomer's defense. And if they call double tees, that's not good. Wow, and I don't know about that. I mean, Healy definitely slammed the ball out of Avi's hands. I couldn't see everything else there, but if they call that, that'd be a 3rd foul on Toomer, and Healy would get his 1st. 6:51 remaining. Bison by 1. Albany led by as many as 15 in the first half, 8 at the half. Bucknell cut it to 5. Albany went back up by 12. Then the Bison chopped away. Finally took the lead, led by 3, its biggest lead a moment ago. They're going to call a double technical, one on Avi. That'll be a personal foul, his third. One on Healy. That will be his first personal foul. And the team fouls.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, it's a bailout to whoever that you didn't catch.
So we're watching the replay on the Patriot League Network, and I don't know if Toomer said anything at all, but Healy definitely slapped the ball out of his hands.
As soon as it happened, Healy turned to the officials, so something was said when he slapped the ball. But regardless of that,
you'd rather just say, "Calm down, guys."
Grab the ball and let's get out. Let's go to your bench. Let's go play.
Because double technicals nowadays, after a number of years ago, those turn into personal fouls, and with 3 on Toomer, that could be big.
They do, and also the guy that was there that was caught in it, and again, he's learning too. That's a young official there. He's the guy that teed up Brown earlier, so he knows that he's already called tees tonight. On the visiting team, so he evened that out a little bit by calling that a double tee. But right or wrong, they should have just played on. You don't need to put personal fouls on two of the best players in the game today, Healy and Toomer.
Healy at the last dead ball, coach, had hit 2 of his 8 shots. They were both threes and 2 of 2 at the line. He has 8 rebounds today. That's kind of a sneaky 8 rebounds. His career high is only 10.
Well, again, in the flow of the game, he's probably getting some of them. It depends on who's getting back. If he's guarding Soto's getting back on defense. Everybody's boxing. He may be getting some. But I'll tell you, the matchup that's happened here is Toomer has really gotten up in Healy, and he's done it since he picked him up, since he came on the floor. And I don't think Healy's used to that. Like I said, he's an Aussie. He's a veteran kid. He's been around. He gets 18 a game, so he's used to getting his way. And I know we're impressed with Ahmad shooting the ball tonight, but I have just loved what he's done defensively.
Avi, last dead ball, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block shot.
So now they each got fouls and nothing happens. So why call it? But it's a bail for these guys, and
it will be the 9th team foul on both Albany and Bucknell. So the Great Danes get it back only down a point here. Last dead ball, you had said whoever wins the assist to turnover ratio from the 15-minute mark on.
Yep.
Last dead ball, it was 1 assist, 2 turnovers for Albany, 2 assists, no turnovers for Bucknell. That would be considered, I guess, a turnover for Bucknell.
Absolutely.
Now here's Healy working on Funk. He'll come all the way around, give it up top to Hutchison. 15 on the clock for Albany. Down a point, here's Clark. He'll drive on Rhodes, stop on the baseline, step back for a long jumper, and it is rimming out of there. Rebound bopped up in the air, and Toomer will get it. That'll be his 4th rebound of the evening. And Bucknell with it with a 1-point lead. I wouldn't mind seeing Toomer take this drive. They'll make him give up the ball to Spear for a 3. Short, long rebound, and Coach Davis can't believe it. Here comes Albany down a point with 6:07 remaining. There's Clark across midcourt, handoff to Healy, back to Clark. It'll probably go to Healy this time. Here he gets it. He'll drive on Funk. He'll throw the ball over to Clark. Clark will come off a screen by Hank, swinging around to Hutchison. He'll get a screen by Hanson. Now he will get caught. Flip the ball out to Clark with 7 on the clock. Here comes Clark. He will drive on Soto's for a kisser. Blocked by Spear. Ball is loose. Rebound Hanson, and he'll get the shot off, but it won't go in. And the shot clock buzzer rang out anyway. Good block by Spear to make up for that missed 3.
Outstanding.
And hey, he could shoot that shot. Now, he's better shooting from the top of the key, and I know Coach Davis and the coaches kind of shook their head, but boy, what a great way to make up for that by a block.
And that's why you play him. You have to give the kid all the encouragement in the world. But 50-49 with 5 minutes to go, you need to get a better shot than that.
Again, I think Toomer is the guy you go to if he can do it.
Yeah, somebody's got to help get him free.
There's Funk with it. Give it up top.
We're going too fast. Rhodes doesn't have time to set a screen.
Spear, give it out for a Soto's 3. Bingo! Wow! What a shot and a good screen that time too, Coach. Biggest lead of the night for the Orange and Blue, 4. What a game here tonight in Soika Pavilion. Albany with it with 5 minutes left. There's Healy.
Looks like Clark really took a shot there.
Healy works on Funk off a screen by Lauderdale. Will pick up the ball. Funk knocks the ball loose, and then Funk fouls him. It'll be 2 free throws for a great free throw shooter.
Played such good defense with his feet to get a foul reaching. That hurts. But boy, I tell you again, Doug, I've been so impressed. I think it gets contagious, much like watching the ball go in. everybody that's down here has decided that they're going to defend their player, and it's really made it tough. If you see this second half, everything that Albany's running, Bucknell is taking them out of. It's disrupting them. Funk just played a great possession there, only to reach at the end, but he moved his feet and kept them in front of him.
It's foul number 10 on Bucknell, so a double bonus for one of the best free throw shooters in the country, coming in 29 of 31, and the Montverde Academy Florida product hits the first free throw and easily drops the second through. He has double figures, 10 points. He had 17 in the 9-point loss at home to Yale. So Bucknell's lead trimmed from 4-2. Here's Toomer, hadn't taken a shot. Now he will go in for a layup off a screen by Rose.
Looks like nobody wants to step in front of him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That guy will lay you out. He is strong. He has a career high 21. Bucknell up 4. There's Healy. Don't want to get him going at the foul line. Out to Lauderdale for Albany. Back to Healy against Funk. Coming off the screen. Almost lost the ball. Now off balance. 3 up and good. That's what Healy can do, Coach. He has 13, and he has scored 9 in the second half. Make it 10. Here's Spear for Bucknell. Bison lead trimmed to 2 again. Need a good possession here. Spear picks up the ball. Go in between the rings to Toomer. Out to Sotos with 16 to shoot for Bucknell. Here's Funk off a screen. Give it back for Sotos, 3 right side. Bingo! And he was fouled! Oh, my almighty! Funk does it again off a great screen, Coach. And it's going to be on Clark, who is trying to close out, but he ran over Sotos.
Absolutely. Just sharing the basketball so well. Now you get into the flow. You see balls go down. But I got to give Toomer credit. He gets it going. Funk is making some great decisions. And now Jimmy Soto get going.
And he has his 8th free throw attempt go through.
I love when he's playing the point, though, and distributing and playing that. And then he can make those things when he's in the flow. I don't like when we're trying to take it on ourselves.
Oh, here's Healy dribbling behind his back. 4-point play by Sotos. He has 14 tonight. Bucknell out to its biggest lead, 5. Here's Healy off balance 3. That rolls out of there. And they're going to call foul on Bucknell. There was 1 Albany player in there. 3 Bucknell players, and they call a foul on one of them. And that's going to be free throws for Lauderdale after a media timeout. It's going to be the 3rd personal foul on Bucknell's player there. And it will be a media timeout. 3:46 remaining. Bison 59, Great Danes 54. This is Bucknell basketball presented by Geisinger, Man-Wise Markets from Learfield IMG College on Eagle 107. Wagner, Driesell, Sasser & Associates is the CPA firm located throughout the Susquehanna Valley. If you aren't getting answers that allow you to make the big decisions necessary to the success of your small business, give them a call at 570-743-2030. Enjoy the game from Wagner, Driesell, Sasser. Bird Song, Pat Flannery, Soika Pavilion, 3:46 remaining. Bison 59, Great Danes 54. Coach, you know the last dead ball from that time to this one? 0-1 in terms of assist to turnover for Albany, 2-1 assist to turnover for Bucknell.
Well, and during that stretch from the 12-minute mark to 3:46, Doug, where it went from 39:43 to 59:54, that was the difference where Bucknell was sharing the basketball, getting looks, and I mentioned before, Toomer was the guy they were looking for, and they were playing off of him. So he made some great plays, but also because they were trying to take him out of it, it gave Andrew Funk some looks, it gave Jimmy Soto some looks. And you know, they've been doing this without Bruce Moore. So
Yeah.
who's ever been playing inside is holding that down like a kid like Rhodes. He may not be scoring except for that one bucket, but he's doing what they asked him to do, just like Timmerman did. And that allows a kid like Toomer, who's going to be your scorer, to be able to make those plays.
At the line, Lauderdale, he's 4 of 8 from the charity stripe this year, but he'll drop it in. The left-hander out of Fullerton, California. Went to La Mirada High School, scored 17 points last year at Stony Brook. One of the veterans. He played all 32 games a year ago for the Great Danes. Second free throw, rims around, out, rebound up, and a dunk. Hutchison wasn't boxed out, and it's the second time here today that the Great Danes have gotten points off a missed free throw.
He just ran around the upside.
And the Bison lead trimmed to 2 with 3:33 remaining. Here's Rhodes with it. He'll hand it off to Sotos, who had a big 4-point play a moment ago. Now he's double teamed. We'll give it over to Funk right side to Toomer. Toomer now with 12 to shoot for Bucknell. Gets a screen by Rhodes. He's still double teamed though. He's going to look at the clock, drive inside, give a pass to Spear, 5 to shoot. Here's Sotos breaking down Rizzuto for a 3. It's short. Rebound comes to Albany, down 2. Here's Healy to Clark. He's probably going to drive all the way, and here he goes for a layup. No pass. Layup by Hutchison. No good. Contact by Spear. No foul. And the coach Brown not happy for Albany. But
that was good defense. Spears went straight up and he jumped into him.
2:53 remaining. Bison lead it by 2 with the rock.
Boy, coach has shown tremendous confidence in Rhodes and Spears. This got to bode well for the Bison.
Now here is Sotos off a Rhodes screen. Give it over to Toomer left side. 9 to shoot. I'd love to see Avi drive, but it's going to be Sotos right side. He is going to be caught, and he's going to have to throw up a shot. And a foul. Oh, my goodness. Shot clock was at 1, and they call a foul, and it'll be a 3 free throw situation for Sotos, and the foul will be on Rizzuto, his second. Boy, that's tough, Coach. That's why you got out of coaching, I bet.
Wow.
You know, I see Coach Brown from behind. He has a little bit of a hole where his hair is receding on the back. I've lost all my hair, and I'm just calling games, Coach.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But Jimmy Soto stepped through the double team. He had presence of mind that the clock was down. He went up and it looked like the kid raped him. It looked like before the clock, but you know, again, with these headphones and with our fans and all, I can't always tell the clock unless I'm looking at it. But it seemed like a good call.
2:31 remaining. Bison will have the ball if the ball is tied up again. Bucknell leading it by 2. Soto's to the line here. Very, very important free throws for the junior out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois. He was one of the 2 guests, along with Jordan Seachin, at this past Thursday's first backcourt club luncheon of the year. Sotos had 10 assists last game against Ryder. Only finished with 2 points. Did have 6 rebounds and a steal. He has over 300 career assists.
Those kind of things, though, Doug, when the time, Jimmy Soto is Bucknell's point guard, and he can score, and there's going to be nights he's going to score. My point to all of that is you have to have folks that you're running things to that we can, and I've been looking for Bruce and Ami to do that. Jimmy's gonna get his because he's such a good player. But when he's distributing and Andrew and they're sharing together.
All right, we just got our official.
Thank you.
He said the foul was on Rizzuto, and that will be his second. And it will be 3 free throws for Sotos here. And the Bison have a career high by Avi Toomer. We just saw it on the Patriot League Network a moment ago. And Sotos will go the line. And you said it. You know, Bucknell's played most of this second half without Bruce Moore.
Yeah, they have. And it's a kind of game where as long as we're screening on that perimeter, they got 3 guards out here that have played a lot of minutes that have chased us around. So when Coach played those other guys and has that rotation, they're in that ball game a lot. That's tough banging off of them all night long. This Clark, I don't know if he's come out and even other than to yell at Healy a little bit, you know, he hasn't come out either. So they're not very deep.
First free throw made by Soto. Second one also.
You think that ref came over to tell us that because I said it was a good call?
No, it's because I'm taking it out to eat later. He's my friend, Coach.
He was pretty emphatic. That I thought maybe he heard us saying it was a good call.
First 2 free throws.
Big minutes from Rhodes and Spears. Absolutely.
2 free throws out of 3 made by Sotos. The other one dribbles off. Bison by 4. 2:27
Great
remaining.
confidence in Timmerman here.
Albany with the ball. Healy's hit a couple of threes here this half. And they're looking for him now. He'll penetrate this time on Sotos with a kisser off the glass, and it will roll in. Boy, tough look. And it's not like Healy doesn't shoot 2s, but that's not his modus operandi normally.
No, and he didn't do that on Toomer.
No, he did not. Soto's with it. Bison lead, trimmed to 2 with 2:09 remaining. Both teams with 2 timeouts.
Both teams all man-to-man all night long.
That's tough. Here is Toomer, takes it to the glass with a layup. No good. Ball ricochets around. Bruce Moore just checked in and got a huge offensive rebound.
And he's fresh.
Yep.
Him and Timmerman. They just bang there.
Yeah, Timmerman just checked in too. 11 to shoot for Bucknell. Toomer with it. Give it to Sotos. He's been big this half. He'll go baseline for a tough layup. He'll get it. Great screen by Moore.
Right to the basket.
Sotos has.
They have no bigs that can contest him at the basket.
He has 18 this game. 15 this half. Bucknell by 4, the minute 24 left. Here's Clark. He hadn't really taken too many shots lately, and now it'll be a timeout taken by Albany here. Do they call a foul first? Nope. Just a timeout. Yeah, it'll be a timeout. So Albany will have one more timeout left. 17 to shoot, 1:20 remaining. Bison by 4.
Turned it into a full.
And I think we've already paid all of our bills this half, so we don't have to take a timeout. We'll keep it here, Coach. If the ball is tied up, possession arrow to Bucknell, and you know, that can be big. Sometimes you can reach for the ball, not get a foul, and gain possession again. Bucknell did that against Army in a big comeback last year. It was Funk against his brother Tommy.
Well, it's really important that everybody coming out of that timeout understands that jump ball, who has it, because sometimes you try to make a great play. So if you have that mentality that possession is the most important thing in the game right now, either you get on the foul line, a jump ball, but you take care of the basketball. And here's where good teams put it away. You're up 4, you got 120. And I say that because Bucknell is becoming a good team, and they will be a good team. What they've had to do is find out who are going to be those people that make those plays when the game counts. You lose kids like McKenzie, Kimball, you lose a kid like Sistina. And not that they can't, but you have to do it in a game. You can talk all you want about talent, but it has to happen in a game. And I felt tonight they really, really grew up. And Coach found some guys that he's going to be able to, he'll shorten some minutes with some, but he's found some other guys that he can really count on the minutes. I don't want to jinx him at all, but I really felt there were some awful good things that happened tonight in a real tough physical half-court game.
Which Albany loves to do. Bucknell would like to get it more open court, but Bucknell's playing pretty well in this Albany style. Clark with it, 11 to shoot. Bouncing underneath. Here's Hutchison against Moore. He'll kick it out. Ball deflected by by Funk and stolen by Bucknell. And there's the assist to turnover ratio, Coach.
Yeah, and Andrew Funk just made a tremendous play. He saw that on the backside, and he saw Healy. They were running him to the corner off penetration, and he stepped between them. That's a great defensive play.
Now with 14 to shoot, Bucknell with it, Timmerman with it, 51 ticks remaining. Bison with the ball in the 4-point lead. There's Funk. He'll ball fake on Hutchison. Great pass to Moore. He'll give it to Toomer. Looks at the clock, shows 3. He'll run over Clark, and they call an offensive foul on Avi, and Avi just smiles. And he goes, that's a terrible call. That'll be team foul number 12, turnover for Bucknell. Only the, 14th in this game. So Albany will get it back down 4 with 41 ticks remaining, 29 to shoot. There's Clark with it. He'll drive on Funk. He'll stop, go up, draw contact, but good foul by Funk. Will get called for his 3rd, but it will send Clark to the line to shoot 2. Didn't give up a 3-point play, and that's huge, Coach.
Yeah, didn't give up a 3-point. Would like to see them stay down, but that's what they do. They come off those handoffs, and they drive it to the basket. They get you near, and they get on the foul line.
Clark has missed 1 free throw in 6 attempts. He has 17 points at 10 against Yale on Wednesday. And he missed the free throw, and you got to wonder about legs,
That's
Coach.
Legs. I mean, again, I know anybody that listens to us or follows the game, you say that, but there truly is. You get to this point in the game.
Plus, they played only 7 in a tough battle against Yale, lost it at home, had to bus all the way down here, Coach. It really adds up, even for 20-year-old kids.
Well, and also Bucknell, I'm telling you, I've seen Yale play, and Bucknell played Albany tonight defensively as well as anybody has. I mean, they grinded them. They're a pattern team, and Bucknell played it.
So the second free throw is good by Clark. He has 18, and he has 7 this second half. Remember, he scored 11 early in the first half.
Coach is putting in free throw shooters right now, so he makes Ellis for Timmerman.
34.4 remaining. If the ball is tied up, possession arrow to Bucknell. Here is Sotos. Toomer, got to get it across midcourt in 10 seconds. Toomer will throw it all the way down the floor and throw it out of bounds. Bison lead is 3 with 27.2 remaining. Now, if you're Albany, you don't have to go for a 3 here. You have plenty of time to go for a 2, and you may fake a 3 and have Clark or somebody drive, or even Healy.
The way they drive the basketball, I'm not sure they need all that handoff and pick. They need to put their head down and go. At the same time, we got to get up here and get them to get the ball and get some time.
Bucknell isn't doing it, though. They're dropping back to half court, and so Clark will just let the ball bounce. And now Sotos will defend him as he picks it up with 26 ticks remaining. Here is Clark off a high screen by Lauderdale. He'll give it to Healy. Healy pushes off on Funk. He'll go underneath. He'll pass it to Lauderdale. He'll go for a reverse layup. It's blocked. He'll get it back. Good, and a foul. The ball was blocked by the rim. Lauderdale picked it up, got it good, and he is 1 for 2 at the line. If he hits this with 14 ticks left, we'll be tied at 63. Boy, just kind of tough luck there. Timmerman could have been called a foul on the first one, didn't. Lauderdale has his 9th point, and this is a big one here. If Bucknell can have him miss and get the rebound.
Yeah, you got a box here, though. You got to put all your people inside there. If not, I really believe more is the guy here. If we get down here and can go 4 out and 1 in and post him down there, I don't think they can play him down there.
There is Lauderdale with the game on the line. 14 ticks remaining. Free throw up. It's short. Rebound Toomer. He's going to dish it to Sotos. Sotos is grabbed by Lauderdale past midcourt with 10.9 remaining, and the Bucknell Bison lead is 1. Lauderdale gets his 4th, team foul number 12, so it'll be 2 free throws for Sotos. Now, he did split his last 2. This will be his 12th and hopefully 13th. Well, definitely 13th attempt. Hopefully he'll make both of them.
I like getting somebody on that line. I don't know what they're.
Even if he makes both of these, Coach, Bucknell's lead would only be 3 with 10.9 remaining. So plenty of time for Albany here. And it may come to a situation, if Sotos hits them both, where do you foul or do you just let it play out?
Well, that question is one where no matter who you hear or what broadcaster, there's one thing that will determine that. How do you practice it? If they practice fouling up 3, then that's what coach will do. If they don't practice, we never practiced it. We would play it straight out if somebody hits a 3, but we're going to guard them on the 3-point line. But everybody's a little bit different on how they play that.
Sotos hits the first, so a 2-point lead for Bucknell.
Because you still have to get an offensive rebound if you foul. So I mean, you still have a chance to offensive rebound the opponent if you get somebody good on a free throw.
Yeah.
We did practice missing free throws. If you were down.
Soto's second free throw goes in.
So now they're going to have to hit the 3 though.
10.9
They don't have time to go 2 and 3.
Here's Clark picking it up, and Coach Brown will take his final time out here. If the ball is tied up, Bucknell gains possession with 8.8 remaining. That could happen. You never know. What do you think that Coach Brown will set up? Do you think Healy will inbound the ball and then get the ball back? Sometimes that happens. The inbounder gets the ball back.
Wherever Healy and wherever Clark is, what you want to do is play them.
He's drawing it up right now.
Well, no, I'm just showing you what you want to play them outside the 3 here. It's like an inverted defense. There's no way you want to be able to trail either of those guys coming off of a down screen to the 3.
Let them drive all they want.
Let them shoot. Let them make 2 all they want. Just play them on the outside so they don't get any look outside the 3-point line.
Don't foul.
And stay down. Don't even leave your feet. You don't leave your feet.
Just stand up with your arms straight up.
Don't even leave your feet.
Remember Chris McNaughton in your big game against Kansas, he took a step back there from, what's his face, from KU.
Simeon. Yeah, yep. Yeah, you don't want to foul. But let's see. Everybody should be outside the 3 so nobody can get pinned down. There's Healy.
Rizzuto to inbound. If he can find someone, he gets to Healy. Here he goes underneath the basket.
Wow.
He'll throw it in the corner. Here's Clark at the buzzer for 3. Or not the buzzer, 2 seconds left. Here's a layup with 1 second left. Good by Rizzuto, but the game is over. And Bucknell has snapped a 3-game losing streak in a very defensive-minded effort here tonight as